Why is Israel bombing Syria's capital Damascus right now? It's a question lighting up the Middle East.
مهاجمة قوات
ميار تعال هون ميار.
Namaskar, I am Samaksh and you are watching Free Press Journal. Syria, a country already reeling from years of civil war. On July 16 and 17, 2025, Israel launched powerful airstrikes on Syrian military targets, including the defense ministry in Damascus and areas near the presidential palace. Syria's health ministry says at least 3 people were killed and 34 injured. These were not random hits, they are tied to escalating violence in Suweida, a southern province near Israel's border, where the Druze minority is clashing with Syrian government forces and local Bedouin tribe. So why is Israel stepping in? Let's unpack 3 key reasons. First up, Israel says it's protecting the Druze, a smaller minority in Syria. About 7 lakh Druze live in Syria, mostly in Suweida. Since December 2024, when Syria's new government under former rebel Ahmed al-Shara took over after ousting Bashar al-Assad, Suweida has seen deadly clashes. It started when Bedouin tribe kidnapped a Druze merchant, sparking revenge attacks. When Syrian government tanks moved in to calm things down, Druze militias, fearing an attack, fought back. Israel, which has a Druze community of about 1.5 lakh, says it's stepping in to shield Suweida's Druze. Defense Minister Israel Katz posted on X, "The painful blows have begun," vowing to keep striking until Syrian forces pull back. Second, it's about keeping Israel's border safe. Suweida sits next to the Golan Heights, a strategic area Israel took from Syria in 1967 and later annexed. Since Assad's fall, Israel has seized a UN-patrolled buffer zone along this border and launched hundreds of airstrikes to stop Syrian forces or groups like Iran-backed Hezbollah from getting too close. The Israeli military says it's hitting Syrian tanks and roads to create weapons-free zone in southern Syria. On X, the idea posted, "We are acting decisively to prevent the entrenchment of hostile elements beyond the border." But some Syrian and Druze voices say Israel is using the Druze as excuse to grab more control. Third, Israel sending message to Syria's new Islamist-led government. Ahmed al-Shara, a former rebel, has been cozying up to the US and even started talks with Israel to ease tensions. But Israel calls his government disguised jihadist and worries it might let anti-Israel groups gain a foothold. By hitting big targets like the defense ministry, Israel's showing it won't let Syrian forces move south without a fight. Some analysts say this is also keeping Syria weak and divided, especially as the US pushes for stability. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio called the strike very concerning, hinting the US was not ready for this escalation.
So we're talking with both sides, all the relevant sides, and hopefully we can bring it to a conclusion, but we're very concerned.
This is a tense moment. Israel's strikes are about protecting the Druze, securing its border and keeping Syria's new government in check. But they could spark a bigger conflict in a region already on edge. Will these attacks force Syria to back off or light a fuse for more chaos in the Middle East? This is Samaksh signing off with a reminder to stay always safe. Thank you for watching.
The Secretary General further condemns Israel's escalatory airstrikes on Suweida, Dara, and in the center of the Syrian capital, Damascus, as well as reports of Israeli Defense Forces redeployment of forces in the Golan. He calls for an immediate cessation of all violations of Syria's sovereignty and territorial integrity and for respect of the 1974 Disengagement of Forces Agreement.